Okay, let me ask you this. Have you ever felt like, you didn't quite fit in? Or maybe like people made up their minds about you just based on where you lived or what you looked like? Or maybe you've just been totally floored by a book written by someone who is barely older than the characters. If any of that sounds familiar, well, you're in the right place for today's deep dive. We are getting into a real classic, a book that truly shaped things, S.E. Hinton's The Outsiders. And look, this isn't just some book you might have read in school. It's way more than that. It's a story that, seriously, decades later, still hits hard for so many people. So our mission today, go deeper. We want to unpack those big themes, the characters you just don't forget, and maybe some of the surprising stuff underneath. Think of it as like your shortcut to really getting why this book matters so much, culturally and literally, getting those, nuggets of knowledge just for you. All right, let's kick things off with something that, honestly, it still blows my mind a bit. S.E. Hinton wrote The Outsiders when she was just 16. 16. Can you wrap your head around that? A teenager writing this book. It was completely groundbreaking for YA fiction back then. Young adult lit just wasn't the same after this.
Oh, absolutely groundbreaking. And what's really key here is her voice. It was authentic. Because she was a peer, she tapped right into those feelings of teenage struggle, figuring out who you are, that deep need to belong somewhere. Before The Outsiders, a lot of books for teens felt, well, a bit stiff, maybe, sometimes preachy. Hinton just smashed that.
Yeah.
She gave us raw, honest, messy reality. She basically said, yeah, teens deal with heavy stuff, and their stories deserve to be told honestly. It wasn't just a book. It kind of set a whole new direction for YA, really changed the game in terms of realism.
And what a world she drops us into. Through the eyes of Ponyboy Curtis, right? He's 14, he's a greaser, working class kid, and boom, right away you're in this thick class conflict. Greasers versus the Socs.
Socs, yeah, short for socials, the rich kids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that tension, it's not just background noise, it's like the engine of the whole story, isn't it? It drives everything.
Totally palpable. From page 1, Ponyboy talks about being marked as a greaser, as an outsider. And that simmering tension, it doesn't stay simmering for long, it explodes. Tragically. The big one being that confrontation in the park where Johnny, well, he kills Bob, the suck-it. In self-defense, but still.
Right. That changes everything.
Everything. It's the point of no return. And from there, you get the hiding out, the church fire, the rumble. It forces Ponyboy and Johnny, too, to face these huge things like brotherhood, loyalty, and just the awful cost of violence, what it actually means.
Yeah, the cost is immense. It makes you think about how one desperate moment can just unravel so many lives. And it's these moments, these characters facing these impossible situations that make the cast so unforgettable. Should we maybe talk about some of them?
Yeah, let's get into the characters. They're why the book feels so real.
Okay, Ponyboy first, our narrator. He's sensitive, right? A
Yeah.
thinker.
Mm-hmm. Very introspective. Loves books, loves sunsets. He's kind of caught between that tough greaser world and, his own more innocent, thoughtful nature. Always trying to figure things out.
Then there's Johnny Cade.
Oh, Johnny.
Yeah, the gang's pet, they call him. So vulnerable. He's got that awful home life, and he'd been beaten badly by the Socs before. He's quiet, seems scared, but his actions, especially in the park, become the pivot point. It forces everyone to really look at things.
Definitely. And then you've got the total opposite, in a way, Dallas Winston. Dally.
Ah, Dally, yeah. Tough guy. Criminal record, seen it all, cynical, seems hard as nails.
But underneath.
Exactly. Underneath, there's this fierce loyalty, especially to Johnny. You see these flashes of something deeper, something almost tender. It really challenges your first impression.
It really does. And Ponyboy's brothers, Soda, Pop, and Dairy. Can't forget them.
No way. Soda's the middle one, right? Charming, easygoing, kind of the buffer between Ponyboy and Dairy.
Yeah, the peacemaker. And Dairy. He's the oldest. Had to grow up way too fast.
Took on raising them after the parents died. So much pressure. He seems strict, even harsh with Ponyboy sometimes.
But it's love, right? Trying to keep them safe, keeps them together, sacrificed his own future, basically. Absolutely. That weight of responsibility is huge for him.
And we should mention the Socs, too, like Cherry Valance or Bob. They're not just flat villains.
No, not at all. Cherry especially helps Ponyboy see that things are complicated on their side, too. Bob, even though he's the antagonist in that key moment, you learn later, he had his own issues, his own pain. He shows that privilege doesn't erase problems, it just changes them.
Exactly. They represent that privilege, sure, but also the frustration and, the misunderstandings that fuel the whole divide.
And that's the thing, isn't it? These aren't just symbols of greaser or sockin. They're complex people. Like you said with Dally, that mix of toughness and fierce devotion. Or Derry's burden, Hinton shows us their flaws, their fears, their good intentions gone wrong. She forces us to look past the labels, to find the human being underneath. It pushes you towards empathy.
Yeah, definitely pushes you. Okay, so building on that, let's unpack the big themes here. Why does this book still feel so relevant?
Right. Well, the most obvious one is that class conflict. Greasers versus socks. It's stark. It's about money, sure, but it's also about prejudice. How society judges you based on which side of the tracks you're from. That resentment runs deep.
And tied into that is identity, right? Finding your place.
Exactly. That universal teenage thing. Where do I fit in? For the greasers, the gang is their identity, their family, their protection. But Ponyboy struggles with it. Is he just a greaser? Or can he be smart, sensitive, and a greaser?
Right.
It's that internal conflict.
Yeah, that's huge for him. And then the violence. The book doesn't shy away from it.
No, it really doesn't. It shows how violence just escalates. From fist fights to the rumble to, well, to death.
Yeah.
It shows the consequences aren't just physical, they're emotional, devastating. Johnny dies, Dally dies because of it. It makes a powerful statement about the futility, the waste of that kind of conflict. Nobody really wins.
So true. But amidst all that darkness, there's also the theme of family. Brotherhood.
Yes. Yeah. And not just blood family, though the Curtis brothers' bond is central. It's about chosen family, too, the gang. That intense loyalty, how they rely on each other, support each other when the world is against them, that's their lifeline.
Absolutely essential for them. And maybe the biggest takeaway, the one everyone remembers, empathy.
That line, things are rough all over. Cherry says it to Ponyboy.
Yeah. Powerful moment.
It's huge. It's the moment they start seeing past the labels greaser, socks, and see the person. See the shared humanity. The whole book pushes you towards that. Understanding that everyone's got struggles, everyone feels pain, no matter what their life looks like on the outside. Can we bridge those gaps? The book says yes, but it takes empathy.
Things are rough all over. Man, that just cuts through everything. And it's not just the powerful story and characters, is it? The book uses symbols really effectively, too. They add another layer.
Oh, for sure. They really deepen the meaning.
Yeah.
The most famous one has to be Stay Gold.
From the Robert Frost poem, right?
Exactly. Ponyboy reads it to Johnny while they're hiding out. Nothing gold can stay.
Oh.
Gold represents innocence, purity, that fleeting beauty of youth, the good things in a tough world. So when Johnny tells Ponyboy to stay gold right before he dies, wow, it's a plea to hold on to his goodness, his sensitivity. Don't let the world harden you completely. It's like the heart of the book's message.
Such a powerful moment. What about the hair? The greaser's hair seems like a big deal.
It is a big deal. It's not just hair, like you said earlier. It's their identity, their pride, their badge of belonging. It marks them as greasers, unites them. That's why having to cut it and bleach it while hiding is so traumatic for Ponyboy and Johnny. It's like losing a part of themselves.
Yeah, you really feel that loss. And one more. Sunsets.
Sunsets, yeah. Seems simple, but it's significant. Ponyboy and Cherry discover they both appreciate watching the same sunset. It's this moment of connection across the divide, something beautiful that belongs to everyone, greaser or sock. It subtly reinforces that shared humanity again. Things are rough all over, but the sunset is the same for everyone.
Nice. So we've got the characters, the themes, the symbols. Bringing it all together, what's the deeper meaning here? What questions does The Outsiders leave us with?
Well, I think it boils down to a really fundamental question. What defines a person? Is it their social class, their label? Or is it their character, their choices, how they treat others? The book constantly challenges those easy stereotypes. You see Ponyboy realizing socks can be human. You see Randy talking about the futility of it all.
Right, it forces you to look beyond the surface.
Exactly. It shows that being rich doesn't mean you're happy or good, and being poor doesn't mean you're bad or doomed. Circumstances shape you, definitely, but your actions, your capacity for empathy, that's what truly defines you. And that's a message that's still so relevant, How do we look past the labels in our own world? The book argues that empathy, really trying to understand someone else's reality, is the key. It's the bridge across those divides.
That's a powerful takeaway. And it's that depth, that challenge to assumptions, that's really cemented this book's place, hasn't it? Made it a cornerstone.
Oh, absolutely. A cornerstone of YA literature, without a doubt. It still connects with teenagers today because that voice feels real, the struggles feel real. Social injustice, grief, loyalty, finding your identity. That stuff doesn't get old. It proved that stories for young people could be complex and profound. And, of course, you have the film, too.
Right, the Francis Ford Coppola movie from '83.
Yeah, which was huge. Brought the story to even more people, solidified its cultural impact. And look at that cast. So many future stars got their break there.
Incredible cast. Okay, so wrapping this up. The Outsiders. It uses this really specific, intense story about gang rivalry and loyalty to ask these huge questions about class, who we are, and how we see each other.
Hmm. Its brilliance is showing that, yeah, things are rough all over, but compassion, understanding, that's how you bridge the gaps. Look past the surface.
See the shared humanity.
Exactly.
So we'll leave you with this to think about. If you were in Ponyboy shoes, or Johnny's, or even Dally's,
Huh.
what would you fight to keep gold in your own life? What part of yourself, what belief, what relationship is that important?
Yeah, what would you protect? It's worth considering.
Definitely. We really hope you'll reflect on these ideas. Maybe even go back and read the book again or watch the movie with some of this in mind.
You might see it in a whole new way.
We bet you will. Until next time, keep diving